Hi everyone, my name is Nika. I'm a piano student. I was a piano student. I learned piano since I was 8 years old, and I stopped learning when I was 16, which is until grade 5, unfortunately, because I have to finish my SPM and got lagged behind and never got a chance to start again and complete my advanced grade. But yeah. So today I'm just gonna teach you guys basic piano on just like how to read the notes and how to know the rest, how to read the music scores, just how to play piano in general. And yeah, although I wouldn't say piano is the simplest instrument to play, but it is usually the first instrument introduced to kids, because once you master the piano, you can pretty much play any instrument, because piano have two clefs. That means it requires you to use both your left hand and right hand, and yeah, so the theory usually starts with piano. So playing piano, it's not easy, but it shouldn't be that hard. So first of all, before we begin with playing the piano, we have to know the basic. So here we have the note, the usual squiggly thing that you see on the music sheets, and here are the rest, and here are the beats. So first of all, this note is called the semi-breath. It has the whole rest, or the other name is the whole note. So what it means that is when you play semi-breath, you hold it for 4 beats. So for example, on a sheet you have middle C with a semi-breath. You're gonna hold notes for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Secondly, we have minim. Minim is half of semi-breath, so that means you play it for 2 beats. 1, 2. And here we have crotchet. Crotchet is a quarter of the semi-breath, so it only has 1 beat. 1. And this is quaver. Quaver is the 8th of the semi-breath, so you only play it for half beat. 1. So as you go from here to the bottom, the note length gets shorter. So here we have the 4 beats semi-breath, 2 beats minim, 1 beat crotchet, and half beat quaver. This is of course not all the notes that you will see in a music sheet, but this is what you will usually see in a basic, let's say grade 1 piano sheets that I will show you in a few moments. So moving on, here we have rest. So what does rest mean? Rest means you will see rest in music sheets, and it indicates for you to stop. So for you to rest for the few beats. So if you see a whole rest, it is right below the line. So right below this line, this is a 4 beats rest. So this means you stop playing for 4 beats. And this is a half beat. So as you can see, semi-breath equals to this whole rest. Minim equals to 2 beats rest, which is above the line. So that when you see this in the music sheets, you should stop the play for 2 beats. And this is a crotchet rest, and you should stop playing for 1 beat. And this is a quaver rest, and you should stop playing for half beat. So these are the rest, this are the notes, and this indicates the beats. So usually you will see this kind of thing in theory. So most pianists, we learn to really memorize and know the theory of the piano before we learn the practical, which is where you learn to play the piano, because you really need to get this down for you to know how to read the music sheets. Here we have more basic terms in the music theory, as we already touched down on the notes and the rest. So here, this might look familiar to you if you've seen a music score before. So this is a treble clef, and this is a bass clef. So what this clef, you usually see it right at the beginning of the music sheets. So does this time. So treble clef usually indicates our right hand, while the bass clef indicates our left hand. So treble clef, I said something before about the middle C, right? So there is a note in the piano that I will introduce later. This is called the middle C. And anything that is above the middle C is treble clef, and you play it with your right hand. So treble clef note usually has higher sound and higher pitch. Bass clef is the note that is located right under the middle C and is played by our left hand. And this is a sharp and a flat, which I will introduce later. Sharp has a higher sound, flat has a lower sound. And this is a time that you will also see right at the beginning of the music sheet. 4/4 time, 3/4 time, 2/4, 6/8, and common time. Usually for beginners, we only touch the upper 3 times. So 4/4 time means the whole music sheet you play in 4/4 time. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2/4 time, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, and this one will usually be shown in a more higher grade. So this is a triplet. Dotted half means you half the note that you play. For example, if you see a dotted semi-breath, it will be half of 4 is 2. So you will hold the whole note for 6 count. Half of minim, so you will hold the note for 3 count. So that's what dotted half means. 16th note is right below the 8th note, and repeat sign, you usually seen it in a repetitive score, music score, and they just don't want to write a whole long, so they just put a repeat sign right at the end. So this means you repeat the song right from the beginning of the music score. So this is the basic theory term. So we've covered the notes, the rest, the time, the clef, the sharp and flat, which I will show you later. And this is the more advanced thing, but in case you've seen this kind of thing in the music score, well, it's not that hard. Repeat sign, dotted half, triplet, which means triplet, it means you play these notes in crotchet and not as 1.5. No, it's in crotchet. And 16th note is half of the 8th note, which means usually you see this kind of thing in a very fast-paced music score. Okay, as I've said before, middle C. Middle C is the most important note in piano because it is the indication of the treble clef and the bass clef. So middle C, this is the middle C. And this is the note for middle C. One line in between the crotchet. So one line, even for bass clef. As you can see, there's a bass clef, there's a middle C for bass clef, and middle C for treble clef. So because this is the midpoint of the piano. So moving on, as you can see in the treble clef, it goes from C to D, the middle note. Okay, so a lot of people ask me how to know the notes from the piano. So this is the trick. 2 black keys. There will be 2 black keys and 3 black keys, as you can see, and it is a repetitive. Piano is just a repetitive music instrument, pretty much. So 2 black keys, and the one to the left of 2 black keys, this is the 2 black keys. So these black keys, and the notes that to the left of the black keys is the C, and in this case it's the middle C. And right next to the C is a D. This is the note to D. E, F, G, and it goes round. A, B, C again, D again. So the note goes from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So, as you can see, the two keys right to the left is C, next to C is D and E. So this is the three black keys. To the left of the first black key of the three is F, G, A, B, and we're back to C with the two black keys. So that's why I say piano is just a repetitive instrument. And it's repetitive that this indicates one octave, C to a C. And this C to another C, lower C, is another octave. Octave is, I would say it's a frequency. So middle C, if I say shift to the lower octave, it will shift to a lower sounding C. Another lower octave, a lower sounding C. If I say higher octave, it will move from middle C to the higher C. Okay, like I say, if from the bass clef, it's the same thing. If you move from the C to down, we go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and we're back to C. The notes are really important. These are the ones that we train during theory. So the notes, as you can see here, all are in crochet. These notes, the placement are really important because the placing indicates the notes that you should play on the piano. So for example, middle C, like I said before, for the treble, it has one line in the middle and it is placed right below the 5 lines that you usually see in the music sheets. So this is a C going upward, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And this is the higher octave, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Another higher octave, C. So it goes round and round. So usually you use middle C as an indication that goes upper, and you just usually count the notes from there, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And C going down, as usual, B and A. So any notes lower than the lines of the middle C, we usually transfer to bass clef, or as I said before, you play it with your left hand. So we go to C, middle C. Middle C in the bass clef, it's placed on a higher line, as you can see. So these clef are really important to indicate what notes are you playing and what note is the music sheets showing. So for bass clef, the middle C is on the higher lines, while for treble clef, the middle C is the lowest at the lower lines. So for bass clef, this is the middle C. Moving down, we have B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Again, B, lower B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And this is the lower C. This is the sound of it. Middle C. And this is the C below the middle C. So this is how you differentiate the bass clef and the treble clef notes. Of course, I don't expect you to memorize all this note immediately, but if you want to learn how to play piano, if you want to play piano, usually without pausing and counting the lines and know what note is this, you should memorize this. This is the most important part of playing the piano if you want to read the music sheets. Of course, if you're playing classical piano, you should memorize all this, so that to the point that I can just point what note is this and you would know that it is B on the treble clef, and you know the placement, which is in the middle C octave. So this should be memorized if you want to learn piano and if you want to know how to read the music sheets, music scores, and yeah. If you remember before, I've shown you sharp and flat. So those are usually played by the black keys. So if you see something, for example, if you see middle C and you see a sharp note right here, so what you're gonna play is C, and you see a sharp, what you're gonna play is these notes. So this is C sharp. But at the same time, if you see a D and you see a flat sign at the D, you play D, and you see a flat sign, you play this note. So a sharp and a flat, they usually play the same key, but depending on which note it's playing. So C sharp is equal to D flat. It's amazing, isn't it? So if you see a C sharp, you play C up, C sharp. But if you see a D flat, you play a D flat. So C sharp is equal to D flat. It's the same thing if you see a D sharp, you play this note. But if you see an E flat, you also play E flat, which is this note. So D sharp is equal to E flat. But how about E sharp? As between E, you don't have the black key, right? So if you see an E sharp, what you're gonna play is an F. So sharp usually indicate one note or half note up. So C sharp up to the black key, D sharp up to the black key, E sharp, you play the F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. How about B sharp? You play C. So those are the sharp. If flat, for example, if you say, how about you're gonna play C flat? Because there's no black key between C and B. So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna play B if you see a C flat. B, B flat, A flat, G, G flat, F. How about F flat? You guess it, E. E flat, D flat, C. So those are the middle C, those are the sharps and the flats and how you're supposed to play it. So that's why I say you should memorize all these notes first, and then only you can read the music score and music sheets with no problem. Usually, you can see the sharp or the flats placed here, but if you have the music scores, for example, in an F major key or a G major key, you would see the sharps and the flats placed here, near the clef and the time. But those are usually for higher grades, and beginners, they don't usually put they don't usually put the key in major or minor key. So those are another, usually you will see those kind of thing when you advance to grade 3 or grade 2 at least. Okay, first scale I'm going to teach you is the C major scale. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it's just an octave of C major scale. So this is the treble clef for C. As you can see, the C note, D note, E, F, G, A, B, and C. The number that you see below here are the fingerings. So number 1 indicates our thumb. Number 2, our pointer. Number 3, middle finger. Number 4, ring finger. And number 5 is our pinky finger. So indicates our 5 fingers. And this is the best clef for C major scale. It's a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is the middle C for the bass clef, and this is the middle C for the treble clef. So what C major scale is going to sound like when you play is so this is the treble clef. C, D, E, third finger, And how the best clef gonna sound like when you play is this is the C that is 1 octave lower than the middle C. So that is the C major scale. Next scale I'm going to teach you is the G major scale. Since it's a G major scales, so it's going to start with G. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Same as the music scores. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now you might be wondering, why is this an F sharp when there's no sharp right in front? As I said before, for major key, most of the time, most of the notes, they usually have a sharp indicated, while minor, they have a flat. But that is most of the time. There are some scales, there's an exception. So the F sharp is located right next to the clef. So you can see clef, a sharp, and this is the count, 4/4 count. Now why is this a 4/4 count? As you can see, in one bar, there's only 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can put one semi-brief here and you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2 minim, as I said before. So for G major scale, it's going to sound like G major scale. So that's how G major scale sounds like, with an F sharp, and starts with the G and ends with the G. Now this is a D major scale. For D major scale, there are 2 sharps, F sharps and C sharp. So we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And as you can see on the music scores, there are also 2 sharps right next to the clefs and the times. So we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So those are the D major scales. So, for F major scales, you obviously starts with an F and end with an F. But here's where the exception comes. As I said before, that usually major keys, they have sharp as the key. But for F major scales, you have B flat. You might wonder and say, why not put A sharp instead of B flat? I don't know. This is just how music notes is written, and this is just how I learned it. So you have F major with a B flat and not an A sharp, even though it's just the same thing. A sharp, B flat, same. So for F major, you have F, G, A, B flat. As you can see, this is a flat key, same line as the B, C, D, E, and F. So it's gonna sound like that is how F major sounds like with a B flat. So everyone, this is just the basic major scale, and there are tons other major scale that you can explore yourself. There are E major scales, A major, and yeah, there's a lot more. And this is just the major scale. I haven't even touched the minor scale. So piano scales that you see in piano pieces, usually they have major and minor scales. So major scales, they usually have more brighter, happier sound. For example, C major scale, it's so happy. The sound is bright and happy. But if you compare it to a C minor scale, minor scale usually have more sad, deep tone to it, while major scale have a happy tone to it. So those are usually just the how you differentiate major and minor scale usually, but of course there's much more deeper explanation to it. And if you're interested, you can, browse through it yourself and learn, because these scales, it is useful if you want to learn classical piano like deeper, and if you want to really learn the piano. But if you just want to learn the piano right at the basic level, and you want to know how to play the contemporary pieces, or you just want to know how C major sounds like when you see it when you want to transpose it from a guitar pieces to a piano pieces, and you see guitar has a C on it, and you just play C major. So yeah, but of course, if you know all the scale, it's going to be useful for if you learn piano for real. And so on the sitting arrangement and how you place your hands and feet when you play the piano. So first of all, you want to sit down and make sure that you are in a comfortable distance with the piano. And for your hands, you want to make a fist, but an open fist. So in a sense, your hands are curled up, your fingers are curled up like this, and place it on the piano. And for your wrist, you want to relax it, because if you put too much tension on the wrist, it will make your shoulder hurts when you play the piano. But at the same time, you don't want to play your piano with a dropped wrist. Then make sure that it is comfortable, relaxed, and not tense. And for your feet, if you're going to play the pedal, just press a foot on the pedal and you play the piano. So that is the position when you play the piano. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys on how to read and play piano pieces on piano. So this is My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. It is my exam piece when I was in grade 1. So as you can see, very overwhelming if you don't know what you're reading. So I'm going to teach you, of course, one by one. So for every piano piece, you will have a title up here. So you have here My Heart Will Go On, Love Theme from Titanic. And then you will see here, it says flowing and a crotchet with 90. So what does this mean? So this tells you on how to play this piece, on how to express this piece when you play it on the piano. So you should play it in a flowing motion. So it's supposed to sound smooth when you play it. And 90 is a metronome beat. So if you have a metronome, when you put 90, it will kind of like tick for you. It will go da 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 da. Or if you don't have it, you can just count it on your own. So as you can see, this is a 4/4 beat. As I teach you before, it is 4 counts. So what does 4 counts mean when you have a piano piece is that in one bar you have 4 notes or 4 counts. So crotchet, 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 crotchet means 1, 2, 3, 4. And your left hand, there's no notes play, so they put a 4 beats rest or semi-brief rest. So there's no note play on the left hand. So that's how it means. And then, as you can see, there's a star here, and it says the student may play in this beat. So it's just on how you decided to play. There's not much, nothing important. And as you can see, there's a rest, a crochet rest, so it means 1 bit rest. This one a crochet and a minim rest, so it means 3 bits rest. 1, 2, 3. So you mean you play 1 note of B, then you up 1, 2, 3, 4. Play 1, rest for 3 beats. So that's what it means. And then if you see notes that are on top of each other like this, for example, like this E on the right hand and G on the left hand, it is placed on top of each other like this. It means you play it at the same time. So how it's gonna sound like is it's 1, 2, 1, 2, and this one, a D and a B also on top of each other, so you play it together. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's how it sounds like when you play it. Okay, what else is okay, for this one, you will see an MP and MF. So this is a technical term, and it is usually an Italian term. So this one, mezzo piano and mezzo forte. So it says it's kind of like up to you. So mezzo piano means you play moderately soft, while mezzo forte means you play moderately loud. So if it's mezzo piano / mezzo forte, it means, you know, it's kind of up to you which one you want to play. So as you can see, there's a loopy thing here. So this loopy thing means that you're supposed to hold the notes. It's not, so this is a G, as you can see. So this is a 4 count G. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Loop, so you hold it for another 2 beats. It doesn't mean that you press it again. So you hold it for another 2 beats. So this G, you hold it for 6 beats. That's what it means. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's what it means. It doesn't mean go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. No, that's wrong. So you hold it. So 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so here you have a forte, which means you play it loud and clear. Okay, so this piece is quite complicated. As you can see, there's a repeat sign. I told you guys about the repeat sign at the end. So once you play this and you reach here, you're supposed to repeat here again. As you can see, there's another dotted sign here. So you play this, repeat right from the start. So repeat twice. So once you reach here, then you go here. So you can see another repeat sign here. So that means you play this and you reach here, a repeat sign, and you play it again from this, play it until here. So here is the complicated part. As you can see, it has a 1 here. So 1 means the first repeat, while here 2 means the second repeat. So for the first time, you play it with this. Then repeat. You play until here, then you jump here. You don't have to play this on the second repeat. You play here until the end. As you can see, the end has no repeat, so this means it's the ultimate end. There's no repeat anymore. So that is how you read this piece. And as you can see, there is no sharp or minor in front, so this means that this is in the C major key. So yeah, C major key is usually the easiest major key for you to play your piano. Okay, so I guess that's all. So there's a semi-breve rest. Remember, this means you don't play it. Semi-breve rest, crotchet rest, minim rest. Yeah, as you can see, there's no quiver in this piece, which is pretty much usual for basic grade 1 piece, and it's, as you can see, it's quite slow, so to put quiver here, it's not really suitable. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how these pieces sound like when you play it on the piano. And yeah, so we're gonna start here. Remember, start here, and when we reach here, I'm going to repeat again, start, and when I go here, I'm going to repeat here, then repeat, stop here, go all the way here to the end. Oh, before I forgot, you might wondering what this number is. So those numbering indicates the number of the bar. For example, first bar, second bar, third bar, fourth bar, fifth bar. So you have a 5 here. So this is usually for teachers to teach piano. For example, you made a mistake here. You made a mistake here or here, and I will say, or repeat from the 5th bar. So you go all the way to the 5th bar again. So you plead. So it's easy to indicate where the bar is. So I can say like, go to the 15th bar. So this would be the 15th bar. So I can say you go to the 10th bar. So you go to the 10th bar. So that is what the number indicates up there. And then there's also a number here. 1 on top of the note, 1 on top of the note. So I told you guys before, this number indicates the fingering, where you should place your finger. So for this C, you should play it with your thumb on the right hand. And this B, you should play with your thumb on the left hand, because this is a bass clef, this is a treble clef, and for this, you should play it on the 3rd finger on the left hand. So the reason why they put number is because to ease the pianist to play the piano, so you don't have to shift your fingers and get clumsy and then you end up playing the wrong notes. So this number, it eases the pianist to play the piano, to play the piece, and yeah, so that you can change your fingers from key to key easily. So that's the purpose of the numbers. Okay, so now I'm gonna play this piece on piano, and yeah, so we will listen on how this piece sounds like when you play it on the piano. So that is how the pieces sound like when you play it on the piano. So now I'm gonna teach you guys how to play bar by bar and teach you guys how to read the notes at the same time. So because this is an exam piece and I don't want to make any mistakes, so I ended up writing every notes down to make sure I don't end up pressing the wrong notes. So as you can see on the first bar, you just play it right hand for C with crochet beats. C, 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 and it's a middle C. So then on the second bar, we have the B on the left hand with using your thumb, and C again on the right hand, middle beat, C, B again, C again, D. We have an E and a G, you play it together, 2, and D and B play it together, 2. So for the first bar, for the first 4 bar, you're gonna play C, 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 B, C, 2, C, B, C, 2, D, E, G, D, B. So that is how the first 4 bars sounds like. Of course, you can add up the MP and MF. So if, for example, you play it very moderately soft, so you add some fillings to it, so it goes. Softly. So remember, for every rest, you lift up your fingers. So this means when you press the B on the left hand, you lift up the finger on the right hand. And when you press this C on the right hand, you lift up the B on the left hand. So you don't play it together. Unless it's written like this, then you play it together. So moving on to bar number 5. So you have another C, 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 C again. C, 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 C. Another B, B, C, 2 count, C, and you have a G of a 6 count on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A, B on the left hand. A, B, 2 count each. And as you can see, there's a con shape like this. This indicates you increase the loudness. So for example, you play G softly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A, B. So B is the loudest. You press it the hardest. So this is also to decorate your piece to make it sound nicer when you play it. Okay. So if I were to play this, remember the repeat sign. So it means you repeat right from the start again. So repeat twice. So how this will sound like when you play it with the repeat bar. C, B, C, 2, C, B, C, 2, D, E, G, D, B, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, loud, loud, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, B, C, 2, D, E, G, D, B, B, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A, B. Then only you jump to the bar number 9. So that is how the first 8 bar sounds like. Remember, repeat, keep it flowing, keep it soft, increase loudness at the end with this sign, and sustain the note for 6 count, and make sure you lift up your finger when there's rest. Okay, so now we're gonna play this bar 9 until 20. Okay, so on bar 9, as you can see, you have to play the C and A together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a D and a B together for 3 count. 1, 2, 3, and left hand you play G. G, moving on. Another G on the right hand. 1, 2, F, E, 2, D, 2 bar, 1, 2 count, 1, 2, E, F. Moving on to bar number 13. E for 2 count, D, C, left hand B again, 1 up, C, 2 count, 2, then B, A for 4 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, F, 2. So then you repeat again from bar 9. C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G, G, 2, F, E, D, 2, E, F, G, E, 2, D, C, B, C, 2, B. Don't go here, but you go here instead. So B again, and C, 2, D, E and G together, 1, 2, D and F together, 1, 2, and C, middle C, and left hand E together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is how you play with repetition on this page. So again, we're gonna play from the start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, G, G, 2, F, E, D, 2, E, F, E, 2, D, C, B, C, 2, B, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, F, 2. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G, G, G again, F, E, So that is how this piece sounds like. So when you play it together through the whole piece, so we're gonna count together and play everything together. So let me just, okay, so right from the start, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, B, C, 2, D, E, G, B, B, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, loud, loud, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, B, C, 2, D, E, G, D, B, C, 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 B, C, 2, C, G, 3, 4, 1, 2, loud, loud, go up there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G, G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, B, C, 2, B, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, F, 2, again, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G, G, 2, F, E, D, F, E, F, E, 2, D, C, B, C, B, B, C, D, E, G, D, F, C, E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up. Okay, so that is how the piece sounds like. And of course, it is fairly easy. There's just repetition. You just have to be aware of the repetition. There's no flat or sharp involved, and yeah, and the fingering is also simple, so that's why I recommend this song to be played for first timer. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's all for this piece.